Hello everyone, it's Naomi. Thank you for tuning in again. Since coming back to Tokyo, it's been hard to shake the memories of Bangkok. It's strange how a place and a person can stay with you long after you've left. And then the other day, something happened. I was walking through a busy part of Tokyo, just another ordinary day. The usual crowds, the noise, the rush of people moving past me. And then, I saw her. No, not her, but someone who looked so much like Pim. For a moment, my heart skipped a beat. The way she moved, the curve of her shoulders, the softness in her eyes, it was all there. It was as if Pim had suddenly appeared in the middle of Tokyo, in this unfamiliar place. She had the same long dark hair that fell over her shoulders, shimmering in the light. The same graceful way of walking, as if the world around her was moving at a different pace. I even caught a glimpse of her smile. A gentle curve that lit up her face in that familiar way. For a second I almost called out her name. But then reality hit me. It wasn't her. But in that moment, my heart was pulled back to Bangkok, to that night by the river, when Pim and I sat together, her eyes meeting mine in the soft glow of the city lights. Her face, the way she laughed, the quiet confidence in her posture, it's all still so vivid. Pim wasn't just beautiful, there was something deeper in the way she carried herself, something that made me feel drawn to her from the moment we met. And now, here in Tokyo, I can't help but feel that same pull, even though it's just a memory. Back in Tokyo, I quickly fell back into my routine. The morning rush, the crowded trains, the endless meetings. Every day feels like it's mapped out before me, with little room for surprise or spontaneity. I wake up, check my phone, rush out the door, and dive into the chaos of the city. The streets here are clean, orderly, efficient, all good things, but sometimes I miss the spontaneity of Bangkok. I work long hours, often losing track of time, as the sun sets behind the skyline, and before I know it, the day is gone. There are no tuk-tuks racing past, no vibrant market stalls spilling out onto the streets. Instead, it's the quiet hum of the subway, the same faces staring at their phones, the routine of it all. Sometimes, in the middle of the day, my mind drifts back to Bangkok. I think about how alive I felt there, how every moment seemed to carry a sense of discovery. I'm productive here, but it's missing the spark I felt in Bangkok. Even the weekends seem to blur into one another. I meet with friends, go out for drinks, laugh, and catch up, but there's always a part of me that feels distant. It's like I'm physically here, but my mind is still somewhere else. Maybe back in that cafe by the river, sitting across from Pim. When I walk through Shibuya or Shinjuku, surrounded by the neon lights and endless noise, I can't help but compare it to Bangkok. The two cities are so different, yet somehow, I find myself searching for traces of Bangkok in Tokyo's streets. I guess that's what happens when a place, or a person, leaves such a deep impression on you. No matter how far you go, or how busy life gets, a part of you stays there, with them. It's about what she represents, the freedom, the possibility, the part of me I hadn't realized was missing until I met her. Now I feel like I'm constantly holding my breath, waiting for something, anything, to make sense of all of this. But nothing ever comes. The more I try to go back to how things were, the more I realize I've changed. And maybe I'll never be the same again. I try to move forward, but there's a part of me that keeps looking back. Back to that moment by the river, where Pim and I sat in silence, the city's hum fading into the background. There's something about silence, about shared stillness, that stays with you. It's not just what was said, but what was left unsaid. In that silence, I felt something shift inside me, something I couldn't name, but couldn't ignore either. And now, back in Tokyo, it's like that shift has left a crack, a space I can't seem to fill. I thought that coming back home would make everything feel right again. But instead it's like I've brought that emptiness with me. There are times when I'm sitting at my desk, staring at my computer, and my chest tightens for no reason at all. It's like my body remembers something my mind won't let me forget. The feeling of Pim's gaze meeting mine, the warmth of her presence next to me. It's all still so real, so close, even though she's so far away. It's hard to explain, but it's as if she's become a part of me. And now, everything here in Tokyo feels different. The city feels colder, quieter, even when it's loud. The conversations with friends, the usual places I go, they all feel muted, like the color has drained out of them. I keep thinking, maybe this is just a phase. Maybe I'll feel normal again soon. But the truth is, I'm not sure if I want things to go back to the way they were. Going back to normal would mean forgetting how alive I felt with Pim. And I'm not sure I can do that. I can't forget how she made me feel alive in a way I haven't felt in years. There's a part of me that's afraid that if I let go of this feeling, I'll lose something important, something that's only just beginning to bloom. And yet, holding onto it means constantly feeling torn between two worlds. The world I've built here in Tokyo and the one I discovered in Bangkok. I don't know how to reconcile them, or if I even can. All I know is that I'm not the same person I was before. And maybe that's the scariest part of all. I can feel it, not just in my mind but in my body too. There's a weight in my chest, a tension I didn't have before. It's like my body is trying to tell me something, but I'm not sure what. The days here in Tokyo feel like they're running together, one after the other, without pause. I thought coming home would make things easier, but instead, it's as if the weight I'm carrying has only gotten heavier. I stand up from my sofa, my body feeling stiff from sitting too long, and head toward the bathroom. Maybe the warmth of the shower will help. I step into the bathroom and close the door, the sound of running water filling the room. For a moment, I just stand there, letting the steam rise around me. I catch a glimpse of myself in the mirror, foggy and blurred, and for a second I almost don't recognize who I'm looking at. Who am I now? I turn toward the shower, step inside, and feel the warm water hit my skin. It feels sharper than I expected. Each drop seems to heighten my awareness of my body. I run my fingers down my arms, feeling the softness of my skin, but also something else. A certain tightness, like my body is holding on to something. My body feels different, as if it's changed while I wasn't paying attention. I move my hands to my chest, feeling the slow rise and fall of my breath. But there's a tension there too, a weight pressing down. It's strange how something so familiar can suddenly feel so foreign. I stand still under the water, letting it flow over me, but no matter how long I stand here, I can't shake the feeling that something has shifted. I turn off the water and step out, wiping the fog from the mirror to look at my reflection once more. And I wonder, will I ever feel the same again? I lie down on my bed, the room dimly lit by the soft glow of the city lights filtering through the curtains. The cool sheets beneath me feel comforting, a sharp contrast to the warmth that has been building inside my body. I close my eyes and take a deep breath, letting the tension in my muscles slowly release. My body feels strong, toned from years of yoga and running, but tonight there's a different kind of energy coursing through me. I slowly move my hands to my stomach, gently pressing my fingertips against the firm muscles just beneath my skin. The familiar firmness is there, a reminder of all the work I've put into my body. But something else catches my attention. There's a warmth and unexpected heat that seems to spread from my lower abdomen. I focus on that sensation, letting my hand rest on my lower stomach, feeling the heat beneath my skin. It's not the kind of heat that comes from exertion, like after a long run or an intense yoga session. It's something deeper, almost primal, an energy I haven't felt in a long time. I breathe in, slowly, trying to make sense of this new sensation. As my hand lingers on my lower abdomen, I can feel the pulse of my heartbeat, steady but strong, echoing through my fingertips. It's like my body is alive, in a way I haven't noticed before. I trail my hand over my hips, feeling the muscles shift under my skin. My body is strong, yes, but it's more than that. It's awake, alive in a way that surprises me. The warmth in my lower abdomen pulses softly, like it's reaching out to the rest of my body. I place both hands on my stomach now, feeling the contrast between the cool air of the room and the warmth radiating from within me. This warmth, it feels like it's connected to something deeper, something I haven't fully understood yet. I try to steady my breathing, but my body feels like it's responding to something I can't quite name. It's strange, this feeling of being so aware of my own body, of every small movement and sensation. As I lie there, I can't help but wonder if this is part of the change I've been feeling, something shifting inside me, not just in my heart but in my body too. I turn over onto my side, but the feeling lingers, and soon my mind drifts back to her Pim. Her face, her laughter, the way her eyes met mine that night by the river in Bangkok. I can almost hear the sounds of the city around us, feel the warm breeze brushing against my skin. My chest tightens with a longing I haven't felt in a long time. Suddenly, I sit up in bed, unable to shake the thought of her. I swing my legs over the side, the coolness of the floor grounding me as I sit there, staring into the darkness. There's only one place I can go to understand what I'm feeling. Bangkok. I stand up, the decision settling into me, like something that had been there all along, waiting for me to acknowledge it. I don't even bother turning on the lights as I make my way to my desk, the quiet hum of the city outside filling the room. I sit down and open my laptop, the screen lighting up in the darkness. My fingers hover over the keyboard, my heart pounding in my chest as I type "Flights to Bangkok." The search results appear, and I feel a strange mixture of nervousness and excitement building inside me. But I don't tell Pim. I don't need to. Somewhere deep down, I believe that if I go, we'll find each other again. It's irrational, I know, but that certainty is there, quietly settling in my chest. I book the flight. No hesitation, no second thoughts, just me, going back. As I close the laptop, I lean back in my chair, the city lights flickering through the window. I know I'll see her again,